Yeah, somehow we ended up graduating from flatbed trailers and makeshift PA systems to professional stage and professional sound team at Zerang Park, which is down the street in Hickory Avenue, right across from Bienvenue. You know, professional sound team like we got this year helps make the musicians sound better, and it decreases the troubling frequencies for residents who aren't so apt to have a music festival happening right in front of their yards. Andre Lovett came back this year to show us how he himself has developed in the past year. A New Orleans soul singer spends most of his time on Frenchman Street honing his craft. This year we had the addition of food vendors and craft vendors like Juan with Bubblicious from River Ridge, moving forward toward completing the more complete festival experience for the residents of Harahan. This is the Harahan Music Festival and Food Drive in its second year. The Victory Bells, it's so great to introduce great entertainers into the city of Harahan and vice versa, introduce the residents to them, give them a real treat with real professional trained musicians, and they sounded great. Amanda Shaw was also, Councilman Johnston, Amanda Shaw. We faced some really heavy rain. Andre Lovett's performance almost broke the clouds, and using the teamwork of the city, we all worked together and we moved it over to Uncle Matt's, and we had Amanda Shaw play at Uncle Matt's, and she really put on a great set. Like I said, these are professionals, and they really showed that. And I think the city of Harahan really showed the kind of teamwork that perpetuates the city with this sort of problem solving, and that is certainly not a given at every municipality. Now, once again, not only is it great to introduce musicians and these entertainers to the city, but it is also wonderful to be given the opportunity from the city to create the stage to help musicians like Andre Lovett develop their voices and their talents and to share them. Here he is again with some adoring fans. Amanda Shaw with the Cute Guys. And you know, mine is a company, Stranded South. This is a festival that, that appreciates our partnerships with the local city departments whose job it is to keep us safe. And we not only appreciate those partnerships, but a lot of times we find inspiration in them. My own grandfather was a detective in Dallas, Texas, after he served as a, paratrooper in World War II with 17 jumps into enemy territory under his belt. I actually wrote a song about my grandfather and my grandmother called Down to South Texas. Now you could listen to that now on YouTube or wait to hear it on my debut record, which is forthcoming, called The Rhythm of New Orleans. Let's get back to the presentation, please. This year we had Home Depot as a sponsor. They gave us about $600 worth of roofing materials to do a renovation for this Hurricane Ida battered shelter. Let's take a close-up of that roof or lack thereof. One more slide, please. Here we are with Gary and Dane getting those materials. Another slide, please. That is the finished product. And I think it looks great. The blue is consistent with other parks in the area, and the horses, traditional symbols of strength and immovability. Comparing our list of sponsors for 2022 to 2021, you'll see rapid growth, and it's a really wonderful thing to watch and to bring all these companies together. Camellia Brands gave us about 1,200 items of food. LA Waters gave us about 1,000 items of bottled water. This is a food drive for the St. Rita Food Pantry. Elmwood Business Association, a great network community that linked us up with a lot of people, including Louisiana Travel via Lieutenant Governor Nungesser's office. A little more on that later. In 2021, we raised 1,100 items and $600. In 2022, we almost tripled that. And one moment, you know, I wanted to start this presentation off with a personal invitation to everybody in the city, everybody who's on the fire department or the police department, as you were some of the original supporters of this festival. And I know in politics, nothing is really set in perpetuity. But if you are someone that wants to have a larger fingerprint in this on this festival in 2023, I wanted to personally invite you to reach out to me at strandedsouthmusic@gmail.com. The Victory Bells performing at Uncle Matt's, and all of these sponsorships, I think we're developing a clever format. Some of them are used for operational expenses like Colonial Estates, American Men Roofing. Some of them are used for straight food donations like Camellia Brand and Blue Runner. As we saw, Home Depot added some aesthetic repairs to the city, so I want to build on that idea in 2023. But we did have an incredibly successful second annual Harahan Music Festival and Food Drive, raising over 3,000 items of food for the St. Rita Food Pantry. And in the third year, I would love to boast that we raised 10,000 items the first 3 years. Of course, we did 1,200 the first year. So 6,000 items, I think, will be the goal next year. We're also considering new aesthetic repairs to the city that could be helped with corporate sponsorships.
Sing it all together like it's carnival time. No familiar faces on the streetcar line. The world is shaking, but the sun is breaking. I'm just a ghost of this ghost town. Darling, come home, there's rain on the levee. Turn round, we'll spin this road.